We coming extra big today, right? We coming with Miss Shay London from Brooklyn. She does hair. She's an entrepreneur. She actually went to the same high school that I went to, right? So that's how we connected at career day. That's the importance of being in a room. But we're gonna get into that. So you can introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name is Shay London. I am a 26-year-old entrepreneur. I own a hair salon that I just opened 1 year ago. I have an online e-commerce business where I sell beauty products. And I'm also a teacher. I mentor young women who want to do hair. I teach them a skill and they go out there and they start their businesses. So I'm also a retired nurse. So
wow. So we got a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
All right. So all right, where do we start? Okay, we're gonna start with walk me through, that hair process, right? Because a lot of women I see, they start doing hair, that's just a side hustle for a while. But like you have a shop now, and a shop in Brooklyn.
Yes, exactly.
Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights.
Exactly. So like she mentioned, we went to Benjamin Banneker. So that's where my journey started. I started doing hair my senior year of high school, and it always had been my side hustle, but I wanted to be a nurse at that time. So after I graduated high school, I went to nursing school. No, actually I went to college. So I had my sociology degree also. But I was like, what am I going to do with this degree? So then right after college, I went to nursing school. Meanwhile, the whole time I'm still doing hair. So I'm still like perfecting my craft, but it's not really enough to make me any real money. So I'm like, okay, Shay, you got to go get your education, right? Yeah. So after I went to nursing school, finished nursing school, then actually went into nursing, I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me. Like, I just didn't like the clocking in, clocking out part. I was like, I didn't want to be a slave to the clock. So I was like, no, it's time to focus on your hair skills. Like, you have the skills, but now you have to scale in and actually get your clientele up. So so said, so done. And I left nursing. I went full on into the hair, doing hair as my main hustle. So I was in somebody's salon but things happen. So I had to break apart and grow, got my studio. And when I say I went all in, like day to night doing hair, stacking up my money until I had enough money to open my salon. So that's how I did it.
That's very inspirational. It's a lot of gems in there, right? First gem I want to talk about is that part where you said you didn't want to be a slave to the hours and clocking in. And what's crazy? I just did a class on that, like, don't be a slave to money, because a lot of the times people hate the things that they do, but they still do it just because money, right? But you did it until you created some type of freedom for yourself, right? So where did you get that mindset from? Like, okay, like I'm gonna just do this until I have to, and then I'm gonna go do what I want.
Where did I get that mindset to? Well, I think it started like being on the floor on the nursing home where somebody is telling me you can't take a lunch break. What do you mean I can't eat? What do you mean I can't eat? How are you telling me my days off? Like, no, I want to be able to make my days off. I don't want to ask for going on vacation with my family. I want to be able to make that myself. So I was like, Shay, you need to get your money up on your own. Like, and then there's a cap in how much you can make at work. There's only a certain amount of hours you could put in. With entrepreneurship, there's not, if you go about it the right way, there's not a cap.
Yeah, you can make as much money.
Exactly. Wow. So I wanted freedom and I wanted to be with my family too. Yeah. Like, life is not only about money. I was like, today you're here, today you might be gone. So I want to spend and make memories with my family. And you can't do that being at work all the time.
Wow, that's a big one. So what can you say during that time when you were getting into nursing? Was nursing your passion or was hair your passion?
So hair was always my passion since high school. Nursing became my passion because my little brother was sick. So I was interested into it. But once I actually got into working there, I was like, it's not what it is. It's not what it seems like. Like, you have 40 patients. You can't give quality care if you have 40 patients. Yeah. You understand me? So I saw a lot of what's the word? Like,
corruption?
Yeah. On that side of nursing. And I'm like, I just don't want to do it. Yeah. You gotta love what you do.
That's a fact. It's crazy. That's still a little bit of the entrepreneurship mindset there, because you said that you got into nursing because your brother was sick. Yeah. And as entrepreneurs, we do things because we want to solve problems. Exactly. And that was like a problem right there, and you wanted to fix it. So that's still operating with the entrepreneurship mindset. So you just had it.
Yeah, I think I was born to do this.
Okay. So all right. So we got the nursing, and then hair has always been your passion.
Right.
You was working at a shop, and then you stopped working at the shop, and you was just working day and night until you got your own shop. So how was that process? Because I know there's a lot of people out right now that wants to have their own shop. So what's the process to doing it?
Okay, well, you have to be smart, right? So Instagram is a big tool. Like, we're in a new age. So I was like, Shay, you want more clientele, you need to put yourself out there. Mm-hmm. You can have a talent, and if you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to be seen, you're not going to be recognized. So to begin with, I didn't have a lot of clientele. I started doing stuff for free. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Instagram is a visual platform. So let me get a girl and make a fire video so other people could see me and people could be interested. So I did a lot of things for free when I was starting out. I built my hair page from then, built my portfolio. And once people see your work, they're going to book, mm-hmm. you know? And one thing that's important is be authentic. So if you're in it for the money, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You have to actually want to do it, you know? Mm-hmm. So I was authentic. I shared who I was. I was just, entrepreneurship is not easy. So I shared not only my highs, but my lows. And that made people connect to me. Mm-hmm. That made people be like, oh, I want to support this young Black girl. Yeah. So that's how I did it. I did stuff for free, and I was just myself. Like, always be yourself. Always be yourself. Yeah. Don't lose sight of yourself.
That's a gem. So when did you start saying, like, okay, I can't no longer do stuff for free. My portfolio is good now. I can start charging.
I'm sorry to cut you. When I saw people start DM me like, yo. So once I see that, I'm like, let me raise my price a little bit, then raise it a little bit more, then raise it. And then I had, support around me. You have to have supportive people around you, guiding me and telling me what to do. Mm-hmm. So once I started perfecting my work, the clientele came. Like, I can't even handle my clientele now. It's so much, but you have to start somewhere. Yeah.
So what is, okay, so you do hair in your shop, right?
Yes.
Okay, and do you have like other employees that work there as well?
Yes. So for 2022, that is my goal, is to, now I did what I had to do. I know I need a team. So there's you can't go somewhere without a team. Like, if you really want to build an empire, you need a team. So I realized I can't do it on my own. So I have another stylist in my shop right now, and I have actually my mom in the back. She's a nurse, so she's doing her own thing in the back. So I'm basically in the phase of building right now. I'm looking for a makeup artist. I'm looking for a braider. I'm looking for people to join on the team. I can mentor them, show them what they have to do, help them build their clientele. And in the same time, I'm building myself and my empire.
I hear that. She looking for somebody. So y'all make sure y'all look at the description.
No, for real. Like, if you're ready to get to the bag, let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it.
So how would it be? Have you thought about that process of, like, are they going to be like employees, or are they going to be somebody who works like in a booth and pays you? Like,
so right now it's going to be commission employees. Okay. So this is good for the women that don't have clientele already. Basically, I'm exposing you to my clientele. So one thing about my clientele, they listen to me. Like, they mess with me. Like I said, I'm authentic. They trust you. So if I say go to this girl, they go into this girl. Like, I've helped people leave their 9-to-5s already by posting them on my Instagram. Yeah. So it's like, I know the potential I have, and I know what I could do for somebody. And, like, if I had somebody like me when I was younger, I'll be so far. I'm only 26. I know where I would have been. So yeah, I'm looking for young girls that's ready to,
that's really inspirational. So talk to me about your mentoring program, right? So how does that work? Like, is it like just a DM, or like how is it? They have to do hair? Like, what type of person are you looking for? Because I know it's going to be a lot of young girls that's watching this, a lot of young women. It's like, I want to work with her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So once you come into my shop, I'm automatically your mentor. I'm going to show you what to do. I'm going to teach you what I had to learn from the mistakes I made. Like, I'm just going to skip that process for you. So I'm going to show you how to take videos of your clients, how to market yourself, like, on Instagram, you gotta post yourself. It can't only be business. Yeah. You gotta show your lifestyle. People aren't interested in you. So I'm gonna teach you the tricks of Instagram of how to build your business. So once you have the talent, even if you don't have the talent, I'm willing to teach you the actual skill. I just need that mentality. I need that mentality, and I need loyalty. So that's what I'm looking for. And then,
All right, so watching this, she's looking for loyalty and a good mindset. So you gotta come with that. And those are things that, like, once you have those things, you good anywhere you go.
Exactly.
You know, because talent and skills and all that stuff is stuff that you can learn. Exactly. Right? But your loyalty, somebody being able to trust you, your integrity, like, those are things that you gotta kind of come with. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you're building your personal brand around yourself. Exactly. Right? So, let's talk about how you got into the e-commerce and why. So So walk me through that process. So you have your shop now. Did you start doing e-commerce before the shop?
I started
or after?
Before. Now let me tell you how the e-commerce started.
Okay.
Quarantine. We couldn't work. We couldn't go to the shop. So I'm like, Shay, what are you gonna do? So I already was doing the dreads. You know what I started doing? I started shipping dreads to people. Me and my boyfriend, we were like driving around Brooklyn doing drop-offs of dreads. You know? So that's
like
how
the full
locks. Yeah, like these type of dreads.
What's the proper way to pronounce it?
Full locks. Yes.
Full locks.
Exactly.
Okay.
So people were home doing their own hair. You couldn't go to the salon. So I'm like, okay, Shay, you provide them with what they need in order to do their own hair. They could go on YouTube. I drop off the hair supplies to them and we're good. Yeah. So that's how it started. And then I started just adding more products to the site. So I started doing wholesale dreads to other hairstylists. So I remember
that's smart.
During the quarantine, like
you was making a bag. I have to chill with you.
Listen, my room
I was with the room.
My room is 100 square feet. Ask him. I had boxes stacked to the ceiling of dreads. Just dreads, you know? So that's what I did with my what is the check that we got during quarantine called again?
Unemployment?
Not the unemployment.
I can't remember the loan,
the stimulus check. That's what I did with my stimulus check. I made a big order to China. I got it. A big box was dropped to my front door, my apartment door, and I posted on Instagram, "Hey, I got hair for sale."
Yeah, and that's how my store.
No, I flipped that check.
that makes so much sense. Wow.
Exactly. Wow. So then I slowly started adding other products on. I started adding wigs. I made my most money during quarantine when I wasn't doing hair.
Wow.
When I wasn't doing hair.
So how was that process getting back into doing hair? Because if you making money without doing hair, and then now it's time to go back in the shop, and I know the process, like, you can be really passionate about doing something, but at the end of the day, it's still work. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, how was that? Like, I gotta go back doing hair.
I wasn't mad at it, honestly. I wasn't mad at going back to work because I wanted to continue building my clientele. And so me working more, I gained a clientele, and then I gained a bigger audience for my online store. So then with the online store, I got into Facebook ads also. So my boyfriend, he handles that side of things. So with running Facebook ads for my products online, I was able to broaden my audience and ship all over the US. So I shipped to Cali, I shipped to Texas, Georgia, Florida, everywhere, PA, Connecticut, everywhere, Mississippi. I've done shipped all over the US. But yeah.
So let's talk about this boyfriend. Right? So what I'm hearing, that is very supportive, right? Yes. So entrepreneur like you, right? What type of man are you looking for? Because a lot of the times, right, being an entrepreneur is hard having balance. Like, I personally feel like there's no such thing as balance when you're building. There's only kind of like a maintaining. Like, you have to kind of maintain a different thing. So what type of person are you looking for? Like, what qualities and how do you sustain a relationship when you're so busy?
So you guys have to have the same mindset. The person you're looking for has to have the same mindset. They have to understand, I'm not able to be with you 24/7 because I'm busy getting to the bag. So once your person understands that, y'all could come together and get to the bag together. Okay. So basically with him, I lacked all the qualities that he had. I didn't have money managing skills. He had that mindset like, Shay, don't go to work. So he was the one pushing me to leave my nursing too. You understand me? So I had somebody supported to my side. So you can't have somebody that just want to sit at home. They don't have goals for themselves. You can't have someone like that. There's a lot of women that their man is the one that's bringing them down.
That's about
your man is supposed to give you money to invest in your business. When I didn't have the money to invest in my business, he was giving me the money. And even, sometimes I promise him, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to give you back this. Sometimes I ain't give him nothing back because I ain't make nothing back. But he was still willing to give me more money. So like, all I can say is like, he had played a big part in my growth, and your person has to help you grow. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? One of my mentors told me, he was like, you need people around you who don't just believe in you, but they believe in your mission.
Yes.
Because when they believe in your mission, it becomes bigger than you. Because at any time, I could fail somebody, you could fail somebody, but the mission never fails.
Let me tell you something. He used to tell me, Shay, you want to have your own salon. I used to laugh at him. What you mean me?
Yeah.
I don't forgot no clients today. What you mean me gonna have my own salon? He always used to tell me that. And I'm like, damn, you been saw this in me. Yeah. You've been so your person has to push you too.
Yeah. You need people around you. And not just like, you know, your significant other friends too. Like people around you who just
I ain't got no friends. I ain't got no friends.
Who sees more? All right, so we're gonna talk about that. Yeah. But you just really need people around you who see more for you than you can see. Like they gotta be able to see things that you can't see before you see it for yourself.
And
because if
not any way or be jealous or anything, a lot of things come into play.
Yeah. All right, so what happened with the no friends?
I mean, because let me tell you something. When you're young, you're all about friends, and you know. But I still had that mentality. I had a group of friends who used to party every week. You know. Nobody know how to manage their money or anything. So that's the mentality I have. You are who you surround yourself with. But then when I met him, I started to draw away and focus more on my goals. So I would always have clients from day to night. I wasn't able to go out as much. So, you know, we just grew apart from there. But as you grow, you're going to lose friends. Yeah. But also remember, you're going to gain friends that's on your same level. People are not around for a lifetime. They're around for a season, and they're there to teach you lessons. So it's okay to lose friends. Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like, you know, everybody plays a part, you know, because I get what you're saying. When you're building, you lose friends, right? It's a lot of the people that I used to hang out with in high school and stuff like that. Not that we don't talk to each other, but it's not that they could call me Aaliyah, come out. You know what I'm saying? They're not inviting me places no more because they know that most likely I'm not going to show up there or I don't have the time to do that, right? So it's just like the mindset switch, right? And for who I was at that time, they were the person I needed to be with. But for who I'm becoming, you know, the
conversation isn't even the same. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about this.
All right, so walk me through the process of actually getting your shop. Like, how does that work? How much money did you have to save up, and how did you find the place?
Right. You know? So the first step for me was research. Okay. So I went on ny.gov hair salons and I just looked up all the requirements that I needed, the licenses that I needed, and what I had to do to open a salon. So that's the first step. You need a business license and you need an actual hair license. So I had to actually go to school too. Oh. Yeah, because I wasn't licensed. So I had to go to school and get my hair license.
And how long was that?
It's like a year.
Oh, okay.
It's a year. So there's a lot of schools in Brooklyn. So you could just Google hair schools and you could get your license and then you just apply for your business license online. Mm-hmm. And then the next step was to actually find a place. So I used to drive around Brooklyn looking for store for rent signs. And exactly. So I would call the number, ask, these are the questions that you need to ask. How much is the rent and how much do I need to put into the place in order to get it functioning and running, right? So, and what's also your requirement? So some people want 3 months of rent and a security deposit. Some people want 4 months. All depends on your credit score. Okay. So those were the first two steps. The credit score. So those were the first two, steps. It's a long process. I called probably 100 places. I saw about 100 places, but I stumbled on the one on Rogers. That's where I'm at right now. Okay. And when I went in there, I knew it was for me. So you have to put in the application and talk to your landlord and work out the numbers. So I would say you would want to have about 30,000, you know, saved up or ready to spend in order to get your salon running. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't have to put too much money into building the place because the place was ready to move in. So meaning I didn't have to put money into construction, building up walls, building up pipelines. I didn't have to put money into doing that. So, but it was a lot of money to like furnish the place and get all the stuff that you need. So I would say probably 10,000 to spend on furniture, paint, putting up lights and stuff like that.
So did you use like any type of business credit for that, or did you just use like your personal?
I used my personal credit.
Okay.
Yeah, I used my personal credit.
Okay. So
And my personal cash too.
Personal cash. All right. So were you still doing hair at the time, like during this process, or did you stop doing hair until you were ready to build, like the salon was like?
So I was in a studio in East New York. It was a 300 square foot room, and they actually sent me a letter and said that I had 1 month to leave. So that's when the process started. So it's a lot of gentrification going on in that area. So they basically kicked me out for no reason. I never was late on my rent. I would never miss rent, nothing like that. They kicked me out because they wanted to charge more for the room. So, gentrification. So that was the push I needed. I was sad at first that happened, but then I was like, Shay, this is God telling you it's time for you to level up. So I was like, I'm going to look for my hair salon. And that's what I did,
When one door closes, another one
Exactly.
That is
a
bigger
so
one.
It was a big one. Exactly. You feel me? Couple of keys. Yeah. So then, so I was still doing hair during the process, but I had to keep, asking my, the landlord of the studio where I was in for more time because I had to make sure everything was right with the salon first before I made the switch over. So scariest time of my life, but I did it. You gotta do it scared and without fear.
Yeah. So what were you feeling in that time? So like you were scared, but what kept you going? Because you could have said like, yo, I'm gonna just go back to the crib doing it, or
oh my God.
Yo, I'm gonna like you. A lot of times like we take a lot of steps back and never go forward.
I was like,
so.
It was God talking to me. It was a lot of prayer going on during that time. I'm like, God, are you really about to give me a shot? Like, I couldn't believe like it was happening. The time I believed it when the lady gave me the key. After I gave her the check and she gave me the key, I was like, Shay, you really have a salon. Like what? And you know what? I held it down for months before I even posted it on my Instagram page that I moved into a salon because I wanted it to be perfect. Yeah. So it was a lot of nerves. I was just thankful to God, like, because the size of my studio is now like even my office is bigger than my studio. Wow. So I have a basement, I have 2 rooms, I have a kitchen, and the big salon area. So it's like really a blessing. Wow. It really is. Wow. The studio was kind of, it's East New York, so it wasn't in a great area. Uh-huh. My clients used to be scared when they came to the building. They're like, is it the abandoned building? Is it the project? They used to be like, is this a homeless shelter? So it was a big turnaround for me. Yeah.
And what's crazy now? Your clients are also on upcoming with you too. Like they're watching you come up because it's like, oh, like Shay was doing my hair maybe in her house, and then Shay started going to a studio, but then now Shay got her own salon, and then now Shay not even doing hair no more.
It's coming. I'm telling y'all, it's coming. It's coming. Like my clients really support me, and when I raised my price, they understood. They understood. They willing to pay me more than I even charged. So. It's really a blessing. Like, it's really a blessing.
That's, what's crazy. Like, my hairstylist, I've been going to her since I was, like 7, 8 years old. And now that I'm 19, I got pay for my hair on my own. Like, at first I was like, dang. But then I still, because of that respect and because of she's always been authentic, always looked out and stuff like that, always came through, I'm still willing to pay for her, still willing to go to her and stuff like that. She even moved to Philadelphia, right? And I took a trip out to Philadelphia just to get my hair done. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, when you are authentic and when people see you building and when people see you rising and doing stuff, they respect you and they're willing to do that.
They saw me from my bedroom and random people come into the salon and be like, congratulations, I'm so proud of you. And it's like the outpour of, sometimes when you're scared to do things, it's because you're scared of what other people are going to say. But trust me, the love, like, it bypasses that. It surpasses the hate that you will get. So do what you will.
So what does a day look like in your shop? Like, how many clients do you do like a day? And and like what is operations like? Like, how do you upkeep with the shop? Like,
so it's listen, when you're the owner, you're everything. You're the janitor, you're the stylist, you're everything in the salon. So usually at the beginning of the day, I come in, open the shutters, go in. My salon has to be clean. So the first thing I do is clean. I look at my schedule. Usually by then my assistant is coming in. So I delegate to her, her assignment for the day. Listen, we have this, and that client. I need you to have this, and that ready. So she already knows her job. So I have help. She sets up the station for me, make sure everything is clean. And I just give myself a pep talk. I drink some tea and I relax and I prepare for the day. Right. So I usually have 3 to 4 clients a day. My goal is to provide quality service and to do it in a timely manner. So for me, everything is on scheduling. I know I have a client at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and that's it. I know I have a time frame with them, get the job done. And it's important to have a good assistant also. So she shares the common goal as me. So once one client is finished, we clean the area, disinfect, and the next client is in the door. So I'm not one of those stylists where somebody is waiting for me for 5 hours sitting in my chair. I'm not one of those. I'm very organized. And
I was about to ask about that.
No, we don't do that. And I always say time is money. Time is money. So you spending 10 hours on a client, even you could have took 3. So you have to be aware of all those things. Yeah.
Wow, that's good. So, okay, so I was about to ask you, like, you know, them Facebook posts where it'd be like, oh, she had me sitting in the thing for hours. So do you charge, like, if a client comes late, doesn't that mess up your whole day? Like, how does that work?
Yes, so I charge a late fee. So usually they don't come late, and I do understand things happen. So like, sometimes I won't even charge them the late fee because, you know, we're all human, and sometimes just as a stylist, you will be late sometimes. So you gotta be like, you gotta have a heart with your clients, but like if they're an hour late, you get in charge or your appointment is canceled. So you have to have structure to your business, and you have to have policies for your business. So I know sometimes clients aren't too fond of it, but in order for you to have like a functional business that runs smoothly, you have to have policies.
And you know what's crazy? Because I always think about things like, all right, you messed up the structure of your business and make one client happy. Now you got a whole bunch of like 3 to 4 different clients who are pissed now.
Now you're
so you could have just structured that one person, said you gotta respect it. Like you missed your appointment, so you can't come. So when I'm late to things, well, I be tight, but I also understand because as a business, and that's why I tell people, like, you don't gotta be an entrepreneur, but at least kind of have an entrepreneur mindset because you think different, right? You're not thinking as just a consumer, like I want. You start thinking about like, oh, other people's time. You start thinking like, okay, this is how their business operates. This is why they have to charge me this price because they're trying to eat themselves, right? So I think like, you know, people have to just start thinking like with an entrepreneur mindset. So let me ask you this: how important is etiquette in your salon?
It's so important.
Like a lot of times we had you see it on posts where it be like, what's that Instagram page? It's called like
raw reviews.
Raw reviews.
It's very important because like as soon as body language is everything, as soon as your client walks into the door, just the way you're looking at them says something to them. So I don't know if y'all ever been into like a salon on Flatbush and everybody's just think face. You don't feel welcome as a customer. I want to spend my money. So it's very important to have etiquette in customer service. Because your work could be good, but if your customer service skills are not there, that will make somebody not come back to you. So you have to be welcoming to your client and, you know, provide a clean and professional environment. Like I've had a bad experience where I'll say I would never go back to that person just because of their etiquette, just because of their customer service. So, and
you know what's crazy? You know what gets me tight sometimes when, like, you don't want to go back somewhere, but that's the only person you know that can do the job. But etiquette is super, super important. It's just how you treat people in general because it's just like, you want people to feel comfortable, especially when you're providing a service where it's supposed to be a grooming service. Like, you're making somebody feel better, look better, feel beautiful. Like, you're enhancing them at the end of the day. So, it's an experience that you're providing. So, in your shop, you only do hair or?
So I'm expanding right now. So I'm following the vision God has for me. So there is a lot of foot traffic by my shop. It's a very gentrified area. So right now I only do hair and I only do appointments, but there's people walking by every day like, hello, open the door. What's in here? What are you doing? And you know, it's been an electrical store for a long time. So now they see something like a hair salon. They're like, I'm interested. So right now I want to open up.
That's where your shop is.
It
was an electrical store with a blue and orange sign.
And it's been there for years. So the people of the neighborhood, they're like, oh my God, your store is so pretty. It's like, what is this? What is it? So they want to come in. I want to take advantage of the foot traffic and, you know, have a little boutique area at the front. And I'm making my mother do body contouring in the back, teeth whitening, and like, you know,
I need that.
There's a lot of smokers that need like the lip lightening, so I'm making her do that.
I got friends who need that.
Hello. Okay, so I'm trying to take advantage. So I'm expanding with my idea. I don't want to only do hair.
So how do you structure your prices? Like, how do you know how much you should charge to make sure that you're profitable?
You have to look at your expenses. Yes, look at your expenses. Look at your rent, electricity, your cost to maintain the shop, cleaning supplies, what I'm gonna pay my assistant, all of that. Everything is budgeting. Mm-hmm. And then you once you get say you want to make $10,000 for the month, you break it down weekly and then you break it down daily. Mm-hmm. So once you break it down daily, you know how much clients you have to take for the day. Mm-hmm. And say, okay, I want to make $500 a day, and you offer a lock service, I have to charge $250 per service. And yeah, that's how you break it down.
That makes a lot of sense. So would you say that being an entrepreneur and having to budget helps you with your personal finance?
Yep. Yes. I think, yes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the best with the money thing. Like I said, my boyfriend taught me a lot. So I'm still growing myself, but I'm not where I used to be like 3 years ago where I could barely save $1,000 in my account. Yeah. I'm not there. So every day it's a learning process. I'm working on my business credit right now. So yes, I definitely think it goes hand in hand.
Yeah. What I love the most is that you're building and you're genuine about your building things. Like, you're humble in the place that you are right now, but you understand, like, God has a bigger vision for you. And you accepting that too.
I am.
Right? And there's a lot of people who want more, but they can't accept that. Like, maybe God wants more for me too.
Exactly.
And He's willing to give it to me, but I have to work. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta take the risk, right? So I respect that.
A student, always learn, always learn, always remember to be a student.
So did you have like any mentors in any way that guided you in a way or helped you like get to where you are?
I made the mistakes. I just made the mistakes and I learned from it. I had my mom and my boyfriend, but they never opened a salon before. So we all came together. We discussed a plan and we just did it. It didn't work. Like,
but you kept going.
Yeah, keep going. That's what you could do as an entrepreneur. So that's why I know I'll be a good mentor, because all the mistakes I made, I won't, I'll share the knowledge. Yeah. Knowledge is power. So yeah.
I was just posting on earlier, like, as an entrepreneur, you have things that punch you in the face every single day.
Gosh.
Like, every day it punch you in the face. You might have a black eye at the end of the day. At the end of the week, you may not have no eyes. But you still gotta see the vision. You still gotta believe in yourself and believe that it's possible. And when you do make that mistake, it's just a way to show that, like, all right, that didn't work. I gotta do it a different way, right? Yep. So it's definitely a big thing. So now we talking about mistakes. What would you say is the biggest financial mistake that you made, or like the dumbest that you was like, Shay, why the heck would you do that?
Listen, when I was in college, I used to get financial aid checks. Mm-hmm. So it used to be like $2,000 checks I'm getting every semester. Mm-hmm. I thought I was the ish with that check. I used to go buy bags, buy foolishness, buy food, go out with my friends, buy liquor. So I think those were one of the biggest mistakes that I made. Instead of investing them in myself, I did stupidity with the money. Yeah. So that's what.
Yeah. That's a big one. So what would you tell your younger self? Like, if you had the knowledge that you have right now, like, what would you tell the younger Shay?
I would tell my younger self to think bigger. I would change my mindset at the time. So I was just thinking for more in the moment at that time, which is probably what led to stupid financial mistakes, like buying bags, buying food, buying clothing. I would tell myself, think bigger, spend your money wiser, and also save and invest. Cause that's what's going to make you become a successful person in the future.
But when we think about it though, like, the bags is what makes us look cool. The shoes make us look cool. So, like,
who you looking cool for? Who you looking cool for? That's the question. Who you looking cool for? Somebody that's in the same position as you? Yeah. Or doing worse than you?
That make a lot of sense.
Yep. The designer don't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. One thing that kind of helped me change my mindset, because I keep it a bug. Like, I like fly stuff. Like, I just like fly stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just like fly stuff. Like, I don't keep it a buck. Like, Jordan's is not doing it for me no more. Right? So, like, I just like fly stuff. So it's just like, I have to tell myself, one, there's always going to be something new that I want. Yeah. Like, I get a new pair of shoes, they could be $700. There's going to be a new pair of $1,000 shoes that I want. And then I also tell myself that I get it now, and I gotta get it here and there. Yeah. Versus, I could set myself up for right now, sacrifice, and I could be able to get whatever I want when I want it, and not feel stressed about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I definitely think, like, it's a mindset thing, and it's all about making a sacrifice. You could sacrifice for a couple of years, 2 to 5 years, to be living good for your rest of your life. Exactly. So it's all about what you want. Exactly. So now, last question, right? I like to revolutionized financial literacy, put a hip hop behind it because I love rap music. Right. I love hip hop, and we from Brooklyn.
Yeah,
you know how we get. You know the parties, right? So, what would you say is your favorite rap lyric about money? Like when you hear that, you be like, that's a bar.
Oh my God, this had to be my quarantine song that kept me going hard. Meek Mill's 1942 flow.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And just from the first sentence, he had me like, and you know what's crazy? When I think about the first sentence, I'm actually living what he said. He said, started off poor with plans to own more. Now we all start. I'm like, Shay, you actually all start. Like, that is my favorite song. Gets me hyped up and make me like, Shay, go get it, go get it. And then the words he saying, what he said? He gave his mama $10,000.
Yeah, that time.
I said, what? I want to get my
do the math. Do the math.
Yeah. So that is my favorite rap song.
And you know what's crazy? When I hear certain music, it's like you have two different type of people in the world, right? You got people who listen to certain music that talk about violence and all that stuff, right? It's cool. But when I listen to that, I don't feel that. I'm not, when I'm listening to that, I don't feel like, yo, I want to go catch a couple about it. That's not me. But when I'm listening to that, get money, like when I hear that, I'm like, yo, like I really got plans to do more. Like,
you are what you feed your mind.
Yeah,
you are what you feed your mind. So.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you. This is definitely a classic, you know. And you know what's crazy? I'm gonna ask you this last question. So you talked about this a lot, but what can I say is like a big goal that you see yourself having in the future? Because when I have you come back on the show and you actually did it, you're gonna reflect on this and be like, yo, like I did it.
So, a big goal. I want to have a franchise. So I want to have a hair salon in Brooklyn, a hair salon in Long Island, Florida, all over the U.S.
You want to have or you will have it?
I will have.
Yeah, that means we talk big.
I will have a hair salon. I will have hair salons all over the U.S. I want to have an e-commerce website that just makes a million. So that is my goal right now. I'm building my team, and I know I will get there once my mind allows me to.
Well, I appreciate you for coming on the platform.
Thank you for having me.
This is a classic, you know, two Brooklynites, you know. You're a little older, but we both, we still the same mindset. Exactly. And that's all that matters, right? So definitely appreciate you. And thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and make sure that you like this video on all platforms and YouTube and share it out to people if you like the content. Let's get it, y'all. It's the Young and Dumb podcast. Aaliyah Duah for Financial Revolution with Shay London. Let's get it.